Red. Okay, first thing we got to do is get our instrument in tune. The relative tuning is gCGCE. If you want to tune exactly where I'm at, I'm a full step lower in F, A sharp, F, A sharp, D. And I even have a tuner here, so I'm confirming that I'm there. Okay, and I have to mention real quick, I'd always heard this song. I learned it originally from George Gibson. He's who would have introduced it to me. George plays sort of a straight, I think he just plays it in double C, sort of a straight overhand, what we call clawhammer style. He would do more of an overhand approach to it, straight hoedown. But then I heard this really interesting recording of Coy Morton doing it, also from Knott County, Kentucky, who was a contemporary of George's. He sort of George learned some stuff from Coy coming up, I think. And Coy just had a real hot, more showy version of that. So combining those two in my mind and listening to other versions and stuff, this is what we get. So how do I do it? I come up with a two-finger approach that I think works best for how I do it. I'll show you all that. We can do overhand as well if you're interested. But so the two-finger, I start off with my index finger plucking the second string on the second fret, and I'm sliding and sort of sliding and reaching. You can slide or just reach down to the fourth fret. Then you're going to go back up and note it at the second fret. Then do that little slide reach again. Then play it open. Then you're going to reach over and note the third string at the second fret. So that gives you Ida red, Ida red. Then just do it again. I'm going crazy about Ida red. Basically the basic run to it. I don't quite do it that way, but I'll often throw in, to make it sound smoother, I'll do a little drop thumb roll. We're going to have a lot of those going on in this song. So I'll do a little drop thumb there and I'll get this sound. See how my thumb dropped to the second string there? So I figure out a way to smooth that out. I'm not going to go and verbalize every point of that. It's too complex for me to do that. But I am now offering tabs on the Patreon group for paying members. It's just $2 a month. That gets you the tab to all these and whatever. So that's our first part. Now the second, there's two more variations. I'll show you that. So the second part, which I think is the simpler one, and I do the most often. So I'll take my index finger on the left hand, and I'll slide all the way on the third string from the second fret to the fifth fret. Whoop! That gives you that. And then I'm going to go into a series of drop thumbs that I guess you could call a roll. And I'm going to end it by noting the third string at the second fret. So the only rule when you're coming up with variations like that is your variation has to be able to blend with other instruments that are playing the same piece of music, and you have to be able to sing the verses to the song over it. So let's try that rule out on this variation. Ida red with eyes of blue, I got drunk on Ida too. So it works. Okay, the next variation I'll show you, I like to take my ring finger, slide on the first string, slide from the fifth fret down to the eighth. At the same time, my index finger is reaching down and noting on the second string at the seventh fret. And then once again, you're doing that drop thumb roll. And you're ending it with your index finger plucking that first string on the fifth fret. Then you're going to go into it again. all I've done there is continued that drop thumb as my left hand is coming up quickly, and as I'm drop thumbing on the second string, it notes the second string for one of those drop thumbs, and then it ends on the, you know. So let's try that. And it ends on the second string there. Other thing you can do there is go back to your initial tail end. I'm going to see Ida red, Ida black, I wish I had old Ida back. So that variation works too. You can do that. The only caution I'll give you there is if you do that too much, the song starts to sound a little too much like Cripple Creek, I think. And there are some banjoists out there who are guilty of confusing the two pieces, who think Cripple Creek and Ida Red are the same tune. I disagree. I think that Ida Red should be played differently. And so one way we want to keep away from sounding too much like Cripple Creek. I've actually seen some bands go on stage and perform Ida Red, and they actually just played Cripple Creek and sung Ida Red over that. It's kind of fascinating. In some areas, that's how they play Ida Red. Interesting. Okay, let's do the close-up.